We finally made it happen.
Yay.
I've wanted to have Claudette, having a creative conversation with Claudette for a long time because I've admired her from afar. And she's brought some beautiful pieces with her. So we'll be seeing that. But we sit down first of all, have a chat.
Yep.
Now, I know you're fabulous and fantastic, but I
Thank
don't know
you.
if everybody knows who you are. So let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
Name, what you do, what your title is, that kind of thing.
Good. Right. So, as I said, my name is Claudette Joseph. I am of Caribbean descent. My parents are Vincentian, proud.
Yeah.
I'm 60 years old. I'm a women's wear predominantly fashion designer maker, which means I design everything and I make everything.
Yeah.
I don't send it out to be manufactured. I haven't got a little team of people working. It's just solely me.
That must be a lot.
It is a lot. It's a big undertake because now you don't find people that want to do everything. They'll quite happily design, but they will send it out to be manufactured or get someone to make it. I love the idea of being personally involved in all aspects of what I do. I love the designing. I love when my clients come in, and I love to see the commission from start to finish.
Yeah. How did you get started?
Oh my gosh, I've always loved fashion. Always loved fashion. And I remember when I started to school, I didn't have a school coat.
Okay.
And we weren't well off. And I would have had to wear my old coat, but I didn't want to wear my old coat. And at the time, it was those quilted coats that everybody was wearing. So I said to my dad, can I have some money to go and buy some fabric? I want to make a coat. And he was like, you can make a coat.
And how old were you at this time?
I was 11.
Wow.
And he said, you can make a coat? I said, yeah, I can make a coat. So I went and got this fabric, navy blue wool. I went and got the wadding, went and got the piping, everything. And I remember staying up all night. I didn't go to sleep.
And did you have your own sewing machine?
They bought me a sewing machine for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is really nice. So I made this coat, quilted it, piped it. Remember, I've never done this before. And he came down in the morning and I was still at the dining room table. And he said, have you been to bed? And I went, no. He said, what have you been doing? I said, making my coat. And he said, where is it? I remember closing the dining room door, and it was hanging up there. And he went, that's great. I said, oh, thank you. It was too big for me, but I absolutely loved it. Yeah. And that was just, from then it just started. Remember wearing that coat to school, and my headmistress, as I was coming in, said, oh, it's a nice coat. And I said, oh, thank you. I made it. And she, what did you say? I said, I made it. And she went, bring that coat to assembly. And I thought, why would I bring the coat to assembly? And she had me up on that stage in that coat. And she said, this girl made this coat. This is the sort of thing you can achieve. She's going to go far.
Isn't that brilliant?
Her name was Mrs. Turner. She was fierce as hell.
Yeah.
But she was so good.
But you still remember Mrs. Turner?
Absolutely. I remember Mrs.
And
Turner.
that moment.
Yeah. I remember when you had to go and pick your options.
Yes.
And you had to have a careers advisor.
Yes.
And she happened to be our deputy headmistress. And she said, Claude, what is it you want to do? And I said, well, I want to go to London College of Fashion because I want to be a fashion designer. And she was like, why that college? Because that was the best technical college, I thought, for fashion design. Yeah. And it is LCF for technical ability and learning. I, to this day, think it's the best one.
So you talked a lot about coming from a Caribbean household. What were, and I know that they bought you the sewing machine when you were younger, but what were their thoughts about you going beyond the 11-year-old to wanting to become a designer maker?
My mum, God rest her beautiful soul, she was of the ilk where you find a proper job. Yeah. And you bring money in each month, and that's how it should be. So when I applied to fashion college, I went to London College of Fashion. And I said, I got in, and she went, no, you're going to Secretarial College. I went, I definitely am not.
Wow.
And she was like, yes, you are. I said, I am not. Anyway, so she said, well, nobody makes money from making clothes. Yeah. And I thought, well, I'll be the first one. Yeah. That's what I'll do. But
You've got this really determined streak about you, haven't you?
Do
Like,
you know what?
you talk about the coat, an 11-year-old making a coat,
Yeah.
staying up overnight to make a coat, going against Caribbean kind of
Yeah.
culture and tradition of
I was, do
getting
you
a
know
proper
what?
job.
I was really good. I was obedient. I towed the line. But if I wanted to do something,
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I will be doing it. That could be the Sagittarian in me, maybe.
Okay.
But
That's a Sagittarian trait.
Oh yeah, if we want to do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So I thought, and she said, oh, she goes, so you know where you want to go? Yep.
And she didn't try and change your mind or tell you
No,
that it wasn't.
it's all I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
From the time I got to school,
Yeah.
they've known that's all I've wanted to do. So when I said LCF, they were like, okay.
When I was at school, they did this thing. I don't know if they did this at your school, where you type in things that you were interested in, and then there was this machine that would come up with all the different careers. I don't know how. It doesn't matter what black girls typed in. You're always going to be a nursery nurse or social worker.
Yeah.
No disrespect to any of those because they're important careers. But that is all that they could see as. And it was never, you could be a doctor.
No.
You could be a nurse, a nursery nurse, or a social worker.
I ended up working in a bank.
Oh, wow.
For 7 years.
Wow.
7, nearly 8 years, yeah.
And whilst you were at the bank, were you still designing or
Yeah.
did you put that on hold?
No. Whilst I was at the bank, I was still designing and doing like mini little shows, whatever. And they didn't know that I was designing still. And then, and it's because it brought me in a wage.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I needed a wage to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And then eventually I had my son and needed this wage to kind of, look after things. But I was still doing designing, not as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I was still doing designing. And we had an issue one day at the weekend. The weekends, you think you work during the week, the weekend's your weekend.
Yeah.
And I remember doing a showcase and I was so excited. And I came back and I was telling the girls, my colleagues, that I'd done the showcase at the weekend. And my manager happened to hear. And she called me in and she said, oh, I understand you did the showcase at the weekend. And I said, yes, I did. Yeah. Thinking that she was going to ask me about it. And she said, so you do know you can't have a second job.
What?
If you're working for us, it has to be.
No, it's not a competitive
I
job.
said, it wasn't banking. I said, I was doing what I do. And she went, yeah, but you can't do that anymore. And I just thought, oh, to hell I can.
Yeah.
Oh, I most definitely can. I said, well, my weekends are my weekends and what I do with my weekends.
Yeah.
She says, oh no. And they actually gave me a warning.
Wow.
I didn't care. I carried on.
Yeah. And when did you decide to kind of go full time to work for yourself?
That was probably 97.
Mm-hmm.
I left the bank and I just thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just knew that at the time at LCF, they didn't do degree courses then.
Okay.
It was BTEC and H&D.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go any further unless you go to St. Martin's or whatever. And I just thought, well, now that I've left there, I'm going to go back and do my degree.
Oh, okay.
So I could be a small fish in a big pond.
Yes.
Or I could be a big fish or make myself a big fish in a small pond.
Yes.
So I actually went to my local one, which was Colchester.
How easy was it to do a design, to do a degree and have a small child?
Oh my gosh. I had... Clark was really, really good. He was such a good kid. I'll pick him up, come home, dinner at bed, and then I'll start again. For 2 years, that's what I did. Yeah. Everywhere I went, if I'm going fabric shopping, doing shows, he would come. Yeah. He was on the circuit with me. Yeah. So it was, and people say that, gosh, it must be tough. And I was like, it's only me and him. Yeah. He didn't, there wasn't a father there. It's just him and I. So he knew that what I was aiming for. Yeah. And that, as young as he was, that was the respect that he had. Yeah. Mum was doing her work, so let me just leave her. Yeah. Does he enjoy fashion or design? He got to He got to secondary school and he says, I'm not doing fashion. I am not going around another shop looking for fabric. I am not doing it. And I was just like, but you've come to all the shows. And he was like, love him, not doing fashion.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's a puppeteer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a puppeteer. Really, really good puppeteer.
Yeah.
So he does London, and at the moment he's doing a production in London, but he's travelled the world doing what he does.
Yeah.
You know, he's another creative. So
take after his mom,
take
right?
after his mum, yeah.
It's so funny you say about he was like, no fashion. Because when my daughter was when she moved out, and I think until she moved out, she was like, oh my God, you're always buying something new. There's always something happening around you. I think she respected it.
Yeah.
And then when she moved to her own space, and she's like, I want this done and I want that. I was like, okay, so you do influence your children.
You do.
In a way.
Because there's things that he wants. He says to me, your mum, can you make me this jacket or whatever? And when he received an Olivier Award for a production that he done. And he said, we've got to dress up. We're going to dress as our characters, like colour-wise.
Yeah.
He said, can you make me a jacket and trousers? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I made that. So when he wants things, he knows that I can do it. And he'll always tell people, my mum is absolutely great. Have you seen her website? Have you seen her Instagram?
Your biggest kind of advocate.
Oh my gosh, he's like the proudest son.
Yeah. It's about your designs. What is it that you're known for? What is it that you offer?
So there's two sides. Well, it's actually three sides. There's three sides to me. I do like bridal, like mother of the bride and party of the bride. And I do a lot of those in the year. But I was known for my tailoring. You know, my coats, my suits, I love separates and coats especially. I loved coats. I've got a whole studio full of coats that I make. But I was known for that, my tailoring. Yeah. And my design ethic was contemporary. Yeah. But with a classic twist.
What comes first?
Fabric. Funny enough.
Okay, because I thought it would be the other way around.
No, because I've got like sketchbooks full of designs. Okay. Which I kind of know what fabrics to use, and they can be there for years. And then I see a fabric and I think, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do with that. Or I buy fabric that I like and it sits there for 5 years.
Wow. So it depends.
Yeah, it just depends. Yeah. But fabric is, you ask anybody, I love fabric. I'd rather not eat than buy some fabric.
Wow. Why do people come to you, and why should they? What's the experience they get from coming to you, a designer maker, that's different to going to like a high street or even a big brand?
Do you know what? That's something you almost need to ask my customers.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's interesting to see what they say. But from what I understand or what they have told me, they can't find what they want on a high street. And they want something that little bit different. And they're happy to pay the money for quality.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And when they come to me, it's almost like we're friends. Yeah. You know, they start off as clients and they'll come to me time and time again. Some people only came to me for one thing. Yeah. But they always come back. Yeah. Which is really, really nice because I've never advertised.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot about.
Yeah, it's always been word of mouth.
So, is the fabric just in your studio, or do you find it at home as well?
So initially, before I got my studio, fabric was my whole house. Was full of fabric. Yeah, and people that come and say, "Oh my God, you got piles of fabric." So when I got my studio, I didn't tell my son at the time, and I moved it all out and everything out. He came home, he's like, "We've been robbed." He's like, "Oh my gosh, Mum, your fabric's all gone." And I was like, "Baby, I got a studio." I have a studio now.
Yeah. The best bits you've talked about owning your own brand. What are the things that are more difficult or the worst bits?
It's not so much it's the worst. I mean, not having a regular wage is what every creative or every small business suffers from.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, if you're doing a 9 to 5 job, you'll work with somebody else, you'll get the rent. But not having a constant flow of money coming through, or when it does come through, it goes really, really quickly.
Yes.
It goes really, it doesn't stay in your account for long, does it?
Yeah.
Whatever. There isn't really any worse bits apart from not resting and cash flow.
Yeah. Something I see a lot happening, and I know of a friend of mine that it happened to as well as a designer, is people copying.
Oh, don't even start. Don't even get.
Copying, and I'm not even. When I say people, actually, I should say major brands.
Yeah.
Doing it.
That is, it's. Do you know what? It shouldn't be, but it's part and parcel of if you are a designer, no matter what field that you choose. There's always the big boys. That will copy something or send someone to copy. I had an incident where I did Spitalfields Market for 8-9 years, and there was a girl. She'd come there and she'd buy a few pieces, probably every couple of months, whatever. And one particular time, she came to me and she said, "Oh, Claude, I've really got to thank you. You've made us a lot of money." And I said,
my mouth has just dropped open.
Oh, my mouth dropped open. I said, "What do you mean by that?" And she says, "Well, I work for this high street brand, and we took your trouser spec and we used it for our own trousers, and it's our best-selling trouser."
I can't even believe she said that.
Yeah, so that literally, and she thought I was being, I don't know what she thought I was being. When I said to her, "What do you mean?" I said, you just taken my design. So do you do that with all the pieces you buy from me? She didn't answer that bit. And she says, "Well, I thought you'd be kind of flattered." I was like, "I'd be more flattered if you'd have said, let us employ you for a season or whatever, do the collection, and we'll pay you." But you ripped off my design,
literally,
for this brand that you work for, a well-known brand, and to come and tell me now that, it caused a big hoo-ha within the market. Yeah, it was an ugly scene. But yeah, she went away, but then they actually came back and told me to stop using the fabric I was using, which was the same fabric that they use.
The audacity!
Or they will take me to court.
Oh my goodness!
I will not name and shame, but I should do.
She should do. But I know, I appreciate why not. But it's the audacity of it.
It's rude.
So how do you get around stuff like that? Or I don't know.
Do you know what
do you do in a situation like that?
Unless you've got the money to fight these people, and they're always a bigger brand than you are. They're always a high street brand or something, or work for a big conglomerate. You can't get around it. They would do it. They'll find a way to take your ideas. They will always find a way. Now it's even more rife. You've got social media, because they haven't even got to look you in the face. They can just take it and spread it, and before you've known or you've seen it, it's already out there.
I've even seen where they've used your image and put it on their social media.
I had to tell a woman to take off my dress that she's touting as her own, literally advertising her business with my image there. Oh my. And I said, "I'm coming to you first to do the right thing. Otherwise there's going to be a problem."
And did she take it down?
She took it down, but there's no apology, nothing. But then she still used a few of the images in her own. And again, I had to write to her and tell her not to use my images unless she credits me.
Social media being so prominent in terms of how people market themselves. There was this woman, right, who makes food, and she obviously doesn't know how to use social media, because she literally took a post of my kitchen and reposted it, so I get alerted to it, and said to her followers, So this is my kitchen where I cook my food.
Oh, please. Literally.
I like,
Yeah, no.
no.
Block them because I want to
You want to know
always
what's
make
going
sure
on.
that they
Yeah,
do not use my images again.
yeah,
So I will sneakily just ever so often
yeah,
tap into there just to make sure that they're
yeah.
toeing the line. I won't block them because then I
It's
can't see what they're
just,
doing. I was looking for an idea for a new collection. And I thought it needs to be something a little bit different, something that people can't go to the high street and just buy or whatever. And I've come onto the idea of origami. I thought, ooh, origami in paper, but I've never seen it in
yeah,
fabric.
yeah.
And he was doing origami with fabric and clothes. And I literally I followed him and then I just thought, no. So he always says I stalked him because I hounded that man to find out where he was so I can learn this technique. And then I came across this guy, I now work with denim. Does this, this phenomenon called TR, which is transformational reconstruction.
Love a selvage
Oh
and an
my
indigo
gosh.
denim.
I loved it. And I just thought, what if I can do my tailoring?
Yeah.
All my pieces in denim.
Yeah.
And then that's when it all started. And then I incorporated my origami within it because that takes it from just your ordinary denim to something that little bit more special.
Yeah, yeah. There's a real kind of, to me, an aesthetic that feels quite Japanese. Yeah.
But stylish.
Oh my gosh, the way that Japanese style is, that they can have 3 items that's put together.
Absolutely.
That feels quite simple, but the structure and
their
whole
wardrobe is about taking key pieces and mixing and matching, but everything looks so new.
Yeah.
And it's using quality fabrics. I love natural quality fabrics.
Yeah.
I use a lot of pure wools and cashmeres, linen for the summer.
Yeah. Why is quality important to you in terms of fabric?
Quality is important because I think all too often there's too denim wasn't a factor in what I was doing before until I came across out there.
Selvage
denim and indigo they don't last. They haven't got the longevity of natural fibres, but they are the ones that you find in landfill. You don't find a cotton or a cashmere or a wool in a landfill. You'd always find the polyesters, the nylons, in landfill. Okay.
So is that important to you about?
I think if people are going to come to me to get something created, and I use the word created because I do create, I design it and I create it and I make it. To get something created from me, I want them to have the best quality fabrics, the natural fabrics. Yeah. Because these pieces that they have are going to be lasting them for years. Yeah. And they're going to look at it over time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, and pull it out and think, gosh, I love this, I'm going to wear that. And still get compliments, which a lot of my customers do, from the pieces that they have. Quality fabrics is everything.
For me, this is why I don't, and I know I come from a space of privilege where I can do this, right? But I would rather pay more for something that's quality than continually buy cheaper pieces. Yeah. Because I find what happens is after a few years, they just wear out, I throw them away. Yeah. Whereas I have things in my wardrobe that I have spent a lot of money on. Yep. And they're still there. So I wore the other day, do you remember they used to do the sample sales in Kensington High Street?
I used to do those.
Oh, did you? And I remember going there must have been in my early 20s. Didn't have lots of money, but it was a sample sale. It was a designer sample sale. So I was going to go and buy something. And I bought a Nicole Fahy velvet sort of tuxedo shaped jacket. I've had that 30 years. I wore it the other day to an event.
Well, you can still fit into yours.
No, honey, only recently. I should say I've had it for 30 years. I haven't been able to fit into it for 30 years. But I'm able to fit in it.
She was one of the first brands that I bought in my head was designer that I spent money on from a designer sample sale.
Wow, look at
Yeah.
that.
I loved Nick Alfari. Loved her
Yeah.
piece. It was so relaxed
Yeah.
and easy, and it never dated.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I still have
It
it.
never dated.
I
The
still have it.
cuts, everything. I love a good cut garment.
Yeah.
And that you don't, I mean, the shops are really struggling to produce, everything's all mass produced.
Yeah. Let's talk about denim, because I love denim.
love
You
denim.
love denim. We're going to talk about the
Let's talk
collection,
denim. Okay.
and we're going to see the collection
Yes.
in a moment. So you've talked about why you love it. Let's talk about how we take care of it.
Right.
Because I love quite solid, firm denim, which is why I like selvage. I like
structural.
is that true?
Yeah, absolutely.
But how do I
Japanese,
take care
that
of
contemporary look, that
Right.
contemporary edge
So,
they have.
Yeah.
In regard,
Nothing's like
even with all clothing,
overdressed.
Yeah.
we wash our
Everything's
clothing far too
easy.
often.
Okay.
Back in the day when I was younger, we didn't wash clothes every time we wore it.
Yeah.
It's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, we come from school, we take off our clothes, we hang it up to air, we put on our home clothes, and that's what we did. We didn't wash it every time you wore it. It ruins the fibers. It breaks down the fibers.
Mm-hmm.
The detergents actually ruin fibers. Denim was a workwear staple.
Mm-hmm.
It was not meant to be something you washed every time you. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hardy. It was strong. You know, and it had that rigidity to it.
Yeah.
Now you can get denims in lots of different weights and feels, whatever.
Yeah.
I hand my clients a little card that tells them to care denim, and you don't wash it 3-4 times a year.
Wow. I think that's got to be huge for people, right?
I mean, some people will say that's not enough, but when you think about it, it's natural cotton.
Yeah.
And natural cotton breathes.
Yeah.
Okay? You take that piece off and you hang it up, whether it's inside out, whatever, and you air it, I can guarantee you can wear that for weeks.
Yeah.
Denim is not meant to be washed every time you wear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people said, you know, you put them in the fridge to kill bacteria, but it's denim cotton is antibacterial.
Right.
You know, some of them are antibacterial. It breathes. You know, it lets you. It doesn't allow you to sweat and hold that sweat in.
Yeah.
Yeah, denim. I always say 3, maximum 4 times a year, unless it's absolutely filthy.
Yes.
Then you wash it. But generally, you don't. People don't wash denim jackets.
No, that's so weird, right?
Yeah.
You're right, because I have a denim jacket that I've had. God, I've had it for about 20 years. I feel if I've washed it 2 or 3 times.
There we go. And that's a jacket. Denim is not meant to be washed
And
like
for
that.
me, it just loses something the more you wash it.
Yeah.
I've seen the jeans that I've washed frequently and the
Yeah.
ones that I haven't, and the difference in
The
how
natural
they look.
fade you'll see.
Yeah.
Because it, you know, if it's indigo, it will fade naturally, and it's really got a nice patina to it, and it will fade in a gradual way.
Yeah.
I pre-wash my denim.
Yeah.
So it's already pre-shrunk.
Okay.
So sometimes
do all brands do that? Do all shops pre?
Well, you would think they would do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much the brands, I think it's like the manufacturers. You would think
Yes.
that they would pre-wash the denim first. And sometimes it will say in it pre-wash denim.
Yeah.
So it loses about 5% of its, you know, the shrinkage rate is 5. I always pre-wash it because then when the client buys it and they wash it, it's not going to shrink again.
Like a pair of jeans that I bought recently from a big high street brand. And I love them because they're very structural, they're hard, and beautiful indigo color. And I put them on the wash that they said, and they came out like drain pipes.
Yeah, no.
I was like, so we're going to take a look at a selection of the new pieces.
So I bought a few pieces of denim for you to have a look at.
Ooh.
Yeah. The collection is quite an vast collection. It's about 15, 20 pieces, but I've only bought about 5 or 6 pieces for you to see. And you can see what I mean about me incorporating the origami into them. Sometimes it's subtle, and sometimes you can see some extreme pieces. So if I show you a few pieces, then you can let me think. I bought what I'm going to show you my denim shirt first. Talking about the waves earlier on. So this is the one I was talking about. So as you can see, it's all about the style lines. Can you see that? Yeah. So this is not just stitch style lines. They're all individual pieces that I've made. This is like uppers. So they're all individual seams. So this is not something you can buy on the high street. Yeah, so this is the Lancer, and that's denim mixed with faux leather. And it's lovely because I initially, when I got that, I loved the gold colour.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find that kind of gold colour with natural leather.
Yeah.
But I have sourced it now, so with natural leather.
I love the lining under it as well.
But it's this is the jacket with the origami panels in the front. So this I'm going to do as a unisex piece because obviously it's a zip in the front. But this one's nice because if I take it down, it's lined. Like an African wax cotton.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a bit more durable when it's lined, but that piece, as you can see with the origami panels, that's nice on actually. Skirts are always good because these are all separate pieces. I mean, you can make them as little pockets if you wanted to, but this you can wear 3 ways. But when I make it 3 ways. This is like the pop out squares. But if you look on this top, it's the same process, but the squares are the other way around. And that's nice. That's just like a little oversized artist smock, I call these.
So architectural.
Yeah, structure and lines. I love things, especially with this sort of thing. You know, you can take this as you would think this is just a plain denim skirt, A-line denim skirt, but adding the detail makes it that little bit more special. Yeah.
But I said the jacket was my favourite piece. Every time I put something else on.
This is called the fold unfold technique, which is really, really nice. It's just a little bit of added interest. Nice. Medium weight indigo denim. Yeah, it's a good piece. And that whole Japanese aesthetic where it was not like a form-fitted piece, it's a really loose piece that you can wear with many other pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
All right, so someone wants to start a new brand. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give them?
Let's do a business course.
Really?
The one thing I regret before I started my label was not knowing about business. Yes. Because it is vital. Yeah. Vital. You know,
I feel like a lot of creatives really know the creative side. Yeah. But don't necessarily know the business side.
No, we go in there thinking we can create, we can make. Yeah. It's it's all artistic and it's all great, but there's the back story to what we do. I think a business course is that you have to know how to run the business. Mm-hmm. It was I was not one that was for Brexit at all. I think I think it didn't do us any favors. No. You know, lots of friends that I know that have had their businesses couldn't operate. Yeah. Yeah. Which is a shame. But yeah, no, I don't. I tend to now. My fabrics are within the UK. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Which is not a bad thing. Yeah, which absolutely. Is not a bad thing.
But yeah, for me, so the tip that you're giving people wanting to start a brand is know the business side.
Yeah, know what you're doing. Yes. Know your craft.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm talking know it inside out.
Yeah.
So that nobody can come at you and say, well, you didn't know your craft inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you have to know the business side of it. The business side is vital.
Yeah.
I came across problems with it because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I've really got to, I mean, when I say problems, I don't mean big problems. I'm just talking about little problems. Because I didn't want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, there's people out there that can do it for you.
Yeah. So you don't have to
No.
have to be an expert in everything.
Not at all. Not at all.
Bring in the expertise.
Bring in the expertise.
Did you ever have any imposter syndrome starting your own brand?
Yeah, I did. I knew what I could do what I do, and I do it very well.
Yeah.
But when it came to pricing, especially, my pieces, I'm thinking, it's really good, but will people pay the money that I should be charging for it? And I wouldn't charge the full price. I would choose a price that I think it was sat well with people.
Yes.
Even if it meant me making a loss or not making what I should be making.
And were you even taking into account when you were pricing
the hours?
Yes.
No. We didn't even take part in the labour. And the labour is huge because that is everything from start to finish.
Because you started by saying, I'm a designer. Maker.
Yeah.
So the maker bit has to be paid for, right?
I didn't include it because I thought in my head it would outprice the piece.
Okay.
But when I think about it, what I was charging for a made-to-measure or bespoke piece was high street price, which is like completely contradictory to what I was about.
Yes.
And then I had to think, this doesn't work.
So a psychology for the buyer, right? That you're telling me that this is bespoke.
Yeah.
But I can buy something in the high street.
Yeah.
So is it really bespoke? Because if it's bespoke, doesn't it have a particular price to it? Well, so there's a psychology around that, surely.
The clients that I have know that because they're getting it made, it's not going to be high street prices. And they fully accept that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Fully accept that. But in my head, I was thinking, I suppose they don't accept that.
Yes. So that's the imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Oh, Claude, you do dressmaking? No, I.
So that's interesting, right? Does that afford a different price point depending on what you're called?
Yeah, because if you're dressmaking, they come with all the fabric, all the notions, the pattern, what size they want. You make it and you hand it over. You haven't got to think about it. But me as a designer, I'm actually giving them my thought, my idea, creating it, taking their measurements.
Do they call men dressmakers?
No, they don't.
Okay.
No.
So it's just
they call tailors, whether they're not tailoring or not.
But we see how sexism works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I give you it's a bit like men are chefs and women are cooks.
Yeah.
And then I pay you accordingly.
Yeah.
And as you said, you've made a clear delineation between what a dressmaker does and what a designer does.
Yeah.
But if you say you're only a dressmaker, firstly, it puts down dressmaking because that's a skill in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also it says that you are not afforded.
Yeah, you're not more than anything than a dressmaker.
Right.
Yeah, my imposter syndrome was I good enough to label myself a fashion designer? Or
what changed? What made that change?
I was good enough.
Of course you are.
Yeah. My clients literally, it was, and they came back time and time again.
Right.
And that was like, do you know what, Claude? Yeah, you are good.
Yeah. Sometimes the evidence, the facts are right in front of us. Yeah. But we still don't see it.
Even though people tell you, I think we really, really struggle to believe it.
Yes.
They can tell you, oh my gosh, this is wonderful and you are so great at what you do. And you're like, really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I just woke up one day thinking, do you know what? I'm the shit. I am
That's
good.
Right. What's next for you?
Ooh, oh my gosh. Right, next for me is I have been working on a menswear line.
Okay, which is new for you?
I did menswear along with the women's wear when I first started.
Okay.
But then the women's kind of took over. So I kind of stopped the men's. and then took in a few. But now it's a dedicated menswear line in the denim. So there's going to be a full range in the women's denim and the men's denim. And I did a 20-piece run of pieces, jackets, shirts, trousers, jeans, whatever. And I did a pop-up shop last year. And I thought, right, I'm going to put it out there just as I've got a menswear line. And then the guys that come in, and I said to them, I also do men's. Can I get your opinion on what you think? And from those 20 pieces, I sold 15 pieces.
Wow.
And the feedback was just brilliant.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to fully do a menswear line along with my women's wear. Yeah, and it's, when at the beginning you said just you on your own, I've really got to think about how this works because it's just me.
Yeah.
So it just means, do I manufacture it out? Do I get somebody in? There's the dynamics to how it's going to work, but I'm very excited to do the men's.
Oh, wonderful.
Very excited.
Where can people find you? Because you're fabulous and we need them to find you. So where can
the best place to find me is through my Instagram.
And what's your Instagram?
And it's Claudette Joseph 550. So that's my Instagram. Also, I've got an email which is info@claudettejoseph.co.uk.
It's been fabulous talking to you. I'm so glad that you came, and I'm so looking forward to looking at having looked at all of the beautiful pieces that you brought. So thank you, Claudette.
Thank you.